Sabrina said this nail was the closest to her right hand.
You fool! You'd believe him if he told you it was Sabrina's shin bone.
Relics, artifacts, trinkets and talismans, hallowed and highly valuable.
I found footprints at Sabrina's execution site. Do you know anything about that?
Why would I? You found them, not me.
Yet your boots are black from ash.
Shh. All right. What do you want to know?
Do you believe in the power of your merchandise?
You mean the relics? Others believe in them, that's what counts. They'll believe in anything that gives them hope. Soldiers shit their pants and throw up in fear before going into battle. If kissing a rusty nail gives them courage, then in my book, it works.
Did you see Sabrina's execution?
Sure I did. I was in the 5th Company. I remember the commotion when that idiot Yahon killed her with a spear. If only I had that spear now.
Where's Yahon's spear now?
I don't know. Besides which, it's none of your concern. I simply won't talk about that.
Do you remember the curse that Sabrina placed on the king?
When they set the stake on fire, she shouted something to the king. His face went red, but I couldn't hear very well. She probably foretold his syphilis. A gruesome death.
You know Yahon?
Never heard of him. Where'd you get the idea that I know him?
Do you remember the sorceress Sabrina?
Same as all the others. Looked like a young nympho, but an old hag inside. You want to talk about her? See that freak who burns candles?
So long.
We'll see in the next battle. The relic will protect me. All you'll have is the tin pan on that empty head of yours.
For Sabrina, who died on the fire! Help us!
Over here! Inside the candles! Quick! You'll be safe here! Over here! Inside the candles! Quick! You'll be safe here! Over here! Inside the candles! Quick! You'll be safe here! Over here! Inside the candles! We're safe here.
I awaited them. They were to come bearing gifts. I heard their cries. Guess they were attacked. If they're not here, they must be dead.
Neither of them survived, unfortunately.
You're a witcher. Hunting monsters is your daily bread. You couldn't help them. Is it 'cause they were simple soldiers? What do you want from me? I'll not believe you came here by chance.
Yeah, you're right. I need to learn some things, and few are willing to talk. Sabrina Glevisig's story, that's what interests me most.
Listen, I'll not speak with you until I get my coin. Pure and simple. Though I do provide charitable help to the faithful, if you were to become one of them. Do you mock me? What's the idea? This is piddling.
I've heard a lot of good things about you. All right, I'll become a follower.
Wonderful. Listen then, for I'll not say this twice. If your intentions are pure, you will do as I ask. Each convert must pass a test. You will spend the night at the old chapel near Sabrina's pupils.
Where?
Twin lakes I have named in her honor.
Is that all?
Before you kneel to meditate, you will drink the mixture I shall give you. You must then remember all that occurs. That's very important, as you'll need to recount it to me fully.
All right, I'll come back once I'm done. I'm too old for this. Everybody needs to know about that one.
Huh? What other matters?
Who are you?
Our descendants will decide who we were when they see what we've left behind.
Is Jahan still around?
Jahan is dead. He didn't deserve to bask in the glory of the lady.
So Sabrina's mercy has limits.
You don't know what you're talking about, Witcher.
The valley's been engulfed by a battle of specters. Know anything about it?
It's a place of horror. You can still hear the sound of steel and the cries of the dying. If you want to soothe their pain, you have to believe that Sabrina is watching over you benevolently.
I won't achieve anything without some memory tokens. Magically active conduits left by those who fell in battle. They're supposed to symbolize faith, courage, hatred, and death.
Faith? I don't know what those soldiers believed, but their faith didn't help them. They were deceived. Courage, hatred, and death. There was too much of all of them, especially death. But I remember a knight who, ignoring the danger, led a handful of soldiers against overwhelming enemy forces. Seltkirk of Gullet, Demaven's champion. When Vandergrift's cohort cut him off from the rest of the army, he attacked the visitor fearlessly. If you're looking for a symbol of courage, find Seltkirk's armor.
Who were you before?
What does it matter? Let the sins of youth fade into oblivion. Look at the candlelight. Feel it, and you'll hear what it has to say to you.
I can't hear a thing.
Then you're not ready. But your time will come. You will then hear and understand. Trust me.
Why do you need so many candles? Why not build a campfire?
This is Sabrina's flame. Its light protects us and guides a soldier's every step.
Did you rob a convoy of wax sellers?
I make the candles myself. I give them to anyone looking for protection within the flame of courage.
I did what you asked.
Tell me what you saw.
You may think I'm as mad as you are, but in my vision I walked through a forest where the trees were huge mushrooms and a giant chicken walked between them, pecking at the underbrush.
You have no idea how happy I am. I've been having this vision of a giant hen among mammoth mushrooms for weeks. I thought I'd lost it, gone insane. Turns out my herbs must have gone off. I'll need to gather new ones, but that's my concern. Ask me what you will.
You must know a lot about Sabrina Glevisig's death.
Sabrina the Martyr left the world of the living to protect us all.
Did you hear about the curse Sabrina cast on the king?
Of course. A well-deserved punishment, a ghostly spell from her crimson lips. The king concocted a cruel fate for the sorceress, humiliated her, made her suffer the flames. Bound to a wheel and placed on the stake, she suffered in a way unimaginable to ordinary humans. But when the flame reached her maiden waist, not a single cry could be heard, only words foretelling King Hensel's imminent demise. Let a shooting star split the heavens and mark its mortal journey with a braid of blood. Let fools be duped by the sight of fish scales, turned by magic into square pieces of gold. Let the unicorn violate 1,000-year-old rules, prompting a just punishment. Sabrina suffered so badly that a merciful soldier ended her torment, thrusting his spear into her aching heart.
Why the candles? What's the difference between Sabrina and other mages burned at the stake?
Others were strong in life. Her power bloomed when death wrapped its steely arms around her. She took the soldier who ended her suffering under her kind care. He never had to fear walking alone in the dark again. Have you seen the area? It's full of beasts and monstrosities. Jahan, the merciful soldier, has walked in the blaze of our power ever since. No creature born of darkness can get close to him.
Any chance of finding that spear?
It was so long ago, Witcher. But I believe the spear went to another soldier. The bugger sells relics from Our Lady by the Camp Inn.
I know who you mean. Now, back to some other matters. So long.
Relics, artifacts, trinkets and talismans, hallowed and highly valuable.
I know you have the spear Jahan used to pierce Sabrina's heart.
I told you about that, and I thought the old freak was trying to forget the sins of his past.
You know Jahan well?
He despises me now, but things used to be different. We were called up at the same time. We fought under Hensel together, but I managed somehow while he hated it. Why did they send him to that ferocious battle? He was the worst dumbass in the entire army, but he outlived the best soldiers. Covered in shit, piss, snot and tears, and still he survived. He cracked when they burned Sabrina. A beautiful end to a fucking beautiful day. Then he went to the dogs. He pissed away all he had on drink. I was the fool who followed him and brought everything he pawned around the inns. That's how I got the spear.
I need that spear.
Tough luck, Witcher. I last saw it a few years back.
What happened to it?
Look how similar we are. You want knowledge, I want coin, and we both need help to get what we want.
How much?
What are your customary takings on a contract? I'll gladly accept but 1/2 of that.
Tell me about her.
After all, business is going well. You see, when Johann lost his head for Sabrina, I bought the spear from the innkeeper. The donkey's ass pawned it in the inn. He drank like a fish. By then, Johann had already hidden in the hills, where no one dares to venture. Some call him the visionary, but in my book he's just a nutter. Beats me why the beasts don't attack him. A fisherman who supplies the canteen said that some monsters hate the smell of fish oil. Johann makes candles out of it.
What did you do with the spear?
Sorry to say I lost it in a dice game. Shame, 'cause today it'd fetch a good price. I lost the spear to a soldier who later fought the squirrels in the forests of the Pontar Valley. He told me he'd used it to kill some Scoia'tael big shot. I heard the shaft cracked as if there'd been some fucking jousting tournament. The most interesting thing is that big shot is still alive. I heard he's now with that vixen from Edirn. Some frigging commander. Elves are weird creatures. Who knows, maybe he still has that spearhead.
Yorvith.
You know him?
I'll tell you for 100 orens.
Bah!
So long. Can you make anything out of these notes, sorcerer?
Where did you get them?
Unimportant.
And you've no notion what's in them?
Wouldn't be asking if I did.
They describe a very dangerous ritual, practically pure necromancy, the sort that gets you burned at the stake.
Be specific. What kind of ritual?
One to summon the soul of an evil man, a man evil enough to wander the world after death. Souls of this kind gladly enter into covenants in the hope of being sent into the beyond.
Why would anyone want to deal with evil?
The possible reasons are many. You'll always find people willing to sell their souls in exchange for something valuable to them. I'll gladly buy the scroll.
I thought necromancy was forbidden.
Oh, it is, but I'm an avid collector of manuscripts containing forbidden knowledge.
I think I'll keep it. Maybe I can become a collector myself. I think I know how to free the king from his curse.
Well then, let's get to work.
Can't do anything until I have the spear the soldier stabbed Sabrina with. Problem is, it's in the hands of a Scoia'tael commander named Yorvith.
I know this Yorvith. Are you certain this is the spear?
Mm-hmm. I last saw him back in Flotsam.
Yorvith is in Vergen, Witcher, along with most of the Scoia'tael from the area. They've joined that peasant girl's insurgency.
Yorvith part of a peasant uprising? It doesn't make sense.
There's only one way to confirm or disprove it. You must cross to the other side of the mist. What of the other artifacts? Do you know them all now?
Not yet.
In that case, you must wait until you've learned everything before crossing. It's a dangerous voyage, not one to attempt twice, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I'd say. I need magic powder to mark out the runes.
Are you aware that the formula requires powdered camphor resin?
I am.
Then you must also know that the resin is extremely valuable.
Get Henselt to pay you. I need the powder to do the exorcism, reverse the prophecy, and release him from the curse.
You should have said, I'll give you as much as you need.
Thanks, on the king's behalf.
I've one more thing you might find useful.
What's that?
You asked me for protective runes. I've done better. Take this grimoire, which details many. I believe there's even one for syphilis. I've marked my recommendations.
Thanks. I've got to get through the mist, or I can't lift the curse.
I shall supply the white flag when you set out as our emissary. The lass is reputedly honourable. She'll welcome you, invite you to a feast, and with a bit of luck you may even plough her.
You're sick, Death Mold.
They say she's very pretty. Peasant girls not to your liking?
Not your concern.
In case the elves lack an understanding of diplomatic symbolism, please also take this armour. With His Majesty's blessing, I might add.
A king's concern can be boundless when his life depends on that of another.
I spent some time working on this recently. This little marvel will guide you through the fog and provide a measure of protection from the spectres.
Thanks. See you.
Good to see you, you old rogue.
Why the long face, Sultan?
Everything's fucked.
The only sight worse than a sad dwarf is the sight of a very sad dwarf.
I don't suppose you have any vodka?
Might have.
Wonderful. Life without old mates and booze is like a woman without a rump.
If you need a change of climate, come with me. I'm on my way to Vergen.
You say that as if you're going to the brothel round the corner. Forgetting about the spectres?
I may have amnesia, but I remember the curse.
Well, all I get around here is non-human midget and the like. And I've dwarven brethren on that side. Sure as shit, I'll take Saskia over that prick Hensel too. You really willing to help me cross?
Of course.
You know, Geralt, I have a feeling that Vergen's where I should be.
I get you. Let's go.
How do you plan to get through the fog? Thought it was suicide to venture into it.
Death Mold gave me a protective amulet.
Throw it out! I wouldn't touch anything belonging to that dick.
The magical potential of the talisman will cause a local interference in the astral projection, creating disharmony where the two dimensions of reality meet.
Meaning?
The mist should part to let us pass.
You should have put it like that to begin with, instead of all that crap about astral bodies. I'll go with you.
What do you want, Witcher?
The soldiers you were looking for, they got held up for a while at Sabrina's circle.
Oh, the idiots! To be duped by witchcraft and superstitions. I'll put them to scrubbing the latrines indefinitely. But I thank you for bringing them back. Your reward, as promised.
There's a soldier by the inn selling scraps from Sabrina's execution site.
I know. The damn quartermaster. This business of his muddles the minds of the soldiers. Suddenly, everyone believes a splinter in your pocket'll protect you in battle. Half-wits.
After what happened here 3 years ago, it's no surprise they're terrified.
I'll tell you one thing, Witcher. In combat, I can count on my shield, my armour, and my comrades, if they still live. Many of those boys will die in Vergen, even with their pockets stuffed with mystical splinters that cost a silver piece each. I want them to be afraid. When steel hits steel, I want them to be alert, damn it! If they're dumb and put their trust in rusty nails and ashes, they won't have a hope in hell.
Did you see Sabrina's execution?
Wish I could have, but only the 5th Company was sent there. She deserved it. What she did to the boys. Believe me, I've seen a lot of monstrosities in my life. My brother died during a coup in Rhind when a mage boiled the blood in his veins. Also, I once saw a soldier raping a dead elf woman. But 3 years ago, people melted like lead. Something you can't forget, Witcher.
Did you participate in the battle?
I did, and I fought. but I'd rather not go into it.
The spirits of those who died in battle are now in combat on that field. They kill each other and change into nasty creatures called Draugrs. Edirnians, Kedwenis, even your comrades. I want to help them, but I have to know what happened during the battle.
Oh, the plague. Listen, then. The fighting started in the afternoon. The Dun Banner was first to attack. We were ambushed, cut off from our main unit and devastated. Bloody scouts and Sabrina Glevissig, who was supposed to mind the battlefield. By then, the battle was in full swing. Wherever you see those damned furrows, people fought there. The Edirnian lines faltered a few times, but we couldn't crush them because of Selkirk. Yes, we had the Visitor. They had Selkirk of Gullet, the invincible White Knight, Edern's finest swordsman. Wherever our forces gained the upper hand, he'd appear and reverse the fighting's course. Then, Vandegrift himself went into battle. He met Selkirk in the middle of the melee. It was a battle of titans. In the end, the Visitor hacked Selkirk and sliced the White Knight from his head to his balls. Then, death fell from the heavens. Lumps of burning soil flew through the air. The whole valley was on fire. Damned magic of a damned witch! I owe my life to Priest Crest, our chaplain. He led me out of the battle and went back for the others. He had a medallion that protected him against fire. He led everyone out, including the Edirnians. But the flames got him in the end.
You mentioned the priest.
A really good man. He was with us the whole time, during the march, in the barracks, and in battle. Among common soldiers. Freya gave him a medallion to protect him from fire. I don't know how true that is, but he led me and many others to safety.
Who has this medallion?
King Henselt. I saw it once. I don't know how he got hold of it, but he definitely had it.
Were you at Brenna?
Ah, yes. Cut down more black ones there than anywhere else. The Redanians were in disarray on the left when we joined the battle. Same with the Temerian regiments in the middle. We arrived just in time. Menno Cohorn commanded the Nilfgaardians. He was some leader. Even we feared him like fire. But somehow we prevailed.
What happened to him afterwards?
He refused to flee. Died like many others. Though no one knows who did it, and no one ever found his corpse.
What happened before the battle?
We forded the Pontar on the third day after the autumn equinox. The Edirnians were waiting for us, formed up in a long line at the foot of those hills. I remember the banners of Vengerberg, Aldersburg, Gullet. Knights, armoured infantry, peasants, the Vergen Dwarf Regiment. All save the king. They numbered more than 5,000. General Vandegrift, commander of the Kedwenis, had less than 4,000, including the elite Bearheads, armoured troops from Ard Caraig, and the famous White Foxes of the north. And ourselves, the Dun Banner, veterans of Brenner, hated by the Edirnians more than the plague. But above all, we had Vandegrift the Visitor. Maybe he was a bastard, but he knew war like nobody else.
Do I have this right? You served in the Dun Banner?
Did indeed. Henselt's never commanded a fiercer group of warriors, and he never will. If not for us, there'd have been no victory for the North at Brenner. We carried the day.
I didn't see the Dun Banner in the camp.
And you won't. The unit's no more. Ensign Eckhard Hennessy carried the standard into battle for the last time 3 years ago.
Glevissig's magic?
Worse. The Edirnian troops, the bastards. The Dun Banner, the pride of Kedwen, lost its standard and almost all its men. The Visitor refused to send us reinforcements when we were cut off. The Dun must prevail. It's been in worse shite than this. The Dun will be all right. 7 Edirnians to each one of us. We had no fucking hope. 200 men went into battle and less than 70 came back. But that's not all. Only a few survived to this day. The boys couldn't handle it. Suicide, firewater, fistek. A few became highwaymen. They ended up on the gallows or in ditches. Memories can also kill you, and soldiers don't always deal with them well.
I have to find that standard.
I heard it lies in the catacombs neath Vergen, alongside my mates. Hey, if you're thinking of going there, I ought to give you my beaver skin cap. That's its rightful place.
Thanks, Civic. I heard there's a man living outside the camp known as the Visionary. Ever met him?
The soldiers talk about him, but I've never seen him. If I ever do, he'll regret that he fooled my people with all those superstitions.
From what I can see, you and the men love your king.
He's like a father to us, really. Comes around from time to time, chats it up, pats you on the mug. Remembers our names, too, though you gots to earn that in battle. Been so distinguished 3 times already. Pride myself on it.
I'm sure it's a great honor for a humble soldier like yourself.
Last time it happened, we was on the march. Some peasant poisoned his well. A few of our lads died. Many others got sick. I pacified that village. We hit them so hard, we even struck fear into our own boys. They went without a row for 2 days, and the king was very pleased. He came around, gave me a friendly punch in the gut, laughed and said, "You are one true son of a bitch. If you'd not been born among swine, you'd probably be king." That's how he is. Humane and all. He's really got a heart.
So long.
You'll meet your match.
Learn anything new about the curse?
A mage on the other side of the fog is also probing the battlefield. A sorceress.
How do you know?
You shall know them by the fruit of their spells. Magic differs with the brain type that generates it. The female mind is simply laid out differently.
It could be Triss.
No, Witcher, it's someone far more powerful.
Spoken to the king yet?
Indeed, he was delighted to hear he can be cut from the curse.
Great, because I need the medallion of the priest known as Crest. I heard it's in Henselt's possession.
He'll give you nothing until you free him from the curse. Truthfully, I believe I understand him. You have a good chance of perishing when you confront the Draugrs.
Give me a break, Deathmold. The 2 of you are just afraid I'll leave this entire mess in your hands.
Ah, that is something I do not fear at all, for I know exactly why you're here. As for the king, you may curse him and scold him and call him a fool if you wish, though it's not something I would advise.
See you.
Tournaments. Now that's a pastime for real men.
I'm interested in the Rotfiend contract. Know anything about it?
The scum has so far destroyed 2 convoys of army provisions. Since the mist appeared, they've grown. The lads from the company have collected a kitty. Tournaments.
All right, I'll take part in your tournament.
The king will be pleased. Just remember, this will not be a fight to the death.
I'll try not to forget.
Duels take place from noon to dusk. You'll find me by the arena then. Tournaments. Now that's a pastime for real men.
Can we start the tourney?
Duels take place from noon to dusk. You'll find me by the arena then. Tournaments. Now that's a pastime for real men.
Can we start the tourney?
Ready?
I am indeed.
Let's begin then. Witcher Geralt of Rivia will now fight the Honourable Gwydion. I yield. Witcher Geralt wins! You won. Let me know when you're ready for the next fight.
All right.
Tournaments. Now that's a pastime for real men.
Can we continue the tournament?
Ready?
I am indeed.
Let's begin then. The Witcher will now take on the Honourable Rendag. I surrender! Witcher Geralt wins! You won. Let me know when you're ready for the next fight.
All right.
Tournaments. Now that's a pastime for real men.
Can we continue the tournament?
Ready?
I am indeed.
Let's begin then. Geralt of Rivia will now take on the fearless Baron.
I yield!
Witcher Geralt wins!
Is there not a single fucking soul in Kedwin able to beat the Witcher? Dung-filled cowards, all of you!
Apparently not in Kedwin. But in Temeria, perhaps. I'll give it a shot.
That could be interesting. If you win, I'll double the reward.
The Witcher's challenger this time will be Vess, a maiden serving in an elite unit of the Temerian army.
Everything's in order.
I surrender!
A few more like him and I could conquer half the world. Give him the prize! He's earned it!
The king wanted a spectacle and he got it. A shame the result was so predictable.
Witches are not invincible.
Seems this one is. But you were brave nonetheless.
She fought harder than all the Kedweni soldiers combined.
You're very kind.
Wasn't so kind in the arena.
He took me seriously.
That's true.
Thanks for not giving me a handicap. I'm going back to my camp. Visit me if you want.
Women. Here's your praise. I need to get back to my business.
Thanks.
Hey, watch it!
I wanted to thank you. That was a great fight.
The only great fights are those I win.
It's no dishonor to lose to a mutant created for swordsmanship.
If it wasn't a tournament but a battle, we wouldn't be speaking now.
You were better than all the knights of Kedwin put together.
You're very kind.
I'm sincere.
A rare trait. Perhaps I should take advantage of this opportunity.
Since we're being honest, I'd like to have some wine with you.
With pleasure.
I wasn't expecting you to agree. This was your chance to get back at me.
I have no need. In truth, I'm grateful to you.
Interesting.
I was sure you'd go easy on me. Then I'd have told you to bugger off. But since you took me seriously, I have some Toussaint wine in my tent. Could I tempt you?
Lead the way. I learned more about you from that duel than from all our conversations put together.
I'm curious. According to Geralt of Rivia, what is Vess like?
She's ambitious, honorable, and beautiful.
In that order?
What if I say the reverse?
If you think I don't like to hear compliments about my beauty, you're very wrong. I'm a soldier, and it pisses me off when I'm viewed as a pair of tits atop an arse. But I'm also a woman, and like every woman, I have my needs.
In that case, let's drink to your needs.
I fulfill my needs differently.
Then what do you want to drink to?
To us?
I didn't know there was an us.
Better to live a day as a king than a life as a beggar. First we'll drink the wine, then we'll go to bed.
Can we do it the other way round?
He does what? Did they take him?
In the face of possible disaster, they tried to draft entire villages in Baywood. Half the serfs knew beforehand and fled into the woods, but the rest were pressed into service. The Count says these are pansies, not soldiers, but we'll have to make do with them.
Tough crossing ahead of us, Sultan.
Looking to scare me now? We're going, and that's that.
Damn it! wonder how many more will turn up.
Never again. Fucking fog.
Look at it this way. You'll be able to brag about seeing the ghostly fog from the inside for the rest of your life.
I'd rather brag about how I ploughed 3 wenches at once in my youth. Stop! You're making a mistake!
A mistake? Interesting. There's a war on, don't know if you've noticed. And wars are won by killing foes. Or do I have it all wrong?
The Witcher's a messenger. On his way to see Saskia.
Not your typical messenger.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but we had to pass through an atypical fog in which your typical messenger would have shit just before he...
Enough! We'll not let you inside Vergen. But you can deliver your message to the commander of the watch. He's stationed by the town gates.
Ploughing typical elf. Come on, Geralt.
Why, it's Geralt of Rivia and Zoltan Chive. Pinch me, burden, for I believe I've dozed off while on duty.
Could be an illusion, eh? Or some spectres from the battlefield have lost their way. Maybe we ought to tickle them with an axe, just to be sure.
I'm afraid there's no mage out there who can conjure up the Witcher's mug, nor the aroma of Zoltan's beer-soaked beard.
Yarpin Zigrin! Lice eat me if I'm not delighted to see that horrid mug of yours.
This lad here's scaling burden. Geralt, what are you doing standing there as if you've swallowed a halberd? Got a hug for an old mate?
Greetings. Triss has told me a lot about you.
Wee Marigold? Ha! How is the lass? Let me tell you, Scalen, this here Witcher's the very embodiment of chivalry. All the Selkirks of the world can't hold a candle to him. And you know why?
No, but I got a feeling we're about to find out.
Me, a knight? I'd sooner call Zoltan a show dancer.
Well then, listen everyone. At the time, we were escorting Caedwene army convoys through the Sherwood forests. Aye, we served Hensel once, though all was for coin. Anyways, the Witcher was on the road as well, with Triss and Ciri, heading south. The lass, I tell you, was a demoness incarnate. Pure pepper on her feet, and healthy as a horse. But the sorceress fell ill. Some terrible pestilence held her, gave her the runs. That woman needed to go every 5 minutes. Never seen anything like it. And I've had my share of gut rumblings. This one time, I roasted an old ailing gerbil and...
Oi! You promised us a chivalrous tale.
And I'm delivering it, lad. In any case, The Witcher would carry her into the bushes time after time. He treated and cared for her, cleaned her, bathed her.
Sounds normal to me. A man looking after his woman. It's too much to call it chivalrous, yarpin.
Ah, wrong. Triss weren't his woman. Not his wife nor lover. She was sick and in need of aid. And he was on a secret mission. Might have left her in some city, might have gone off on his own, but he didn't. Know why? Because he's got a heart of gold. He truly cares. A lad like you, Scalen, don't know that being a knight's not just about thrashing around in full plate, a long sword in hand. It's not just about fighting duels and winning tournaments.
Damn! I missed hearing your bullshit, Sigrun.
I don't believe anyone else has tried to tell me that story.
How is the wee Marigold, anyway?
Not great. The Kingslayer kidnapped her.
Oh, damn the dogs. That's downright terrible.
I suppose it's no coincidence you're here.
I have to see Saskia.
To what end?
To dispel the mist of wraiths, I need a few magic artifacts.
What's Saskia got to do with that?
Her sword is one of those items.
And what do you suggest I do? Yorvith and Saskia banned us from letting strangers in. And here are two old mates come over from the other side who want just that. A lose-lose situation if ever I've seen one.
That ought to be easy to get around.
Cow pies ought to be easy to get around, yet we don't always succeed.
I'm staying here, Yarpen. I want to join you, enlist. Will you have me in the Dwarven Brigade?
Will I have you, Chiefy? Will I plough and have you? Why, I'll make you fucking commander, you cocksucker! Problem solved. Scalen, you're my witness. Zoltan's no longer a stranger.
Aha.
All right. Now I'll introduce you to Saskia, and you can try to clarify the story with a sword for her. Or whatnot.
Don't you fret about the sword, Geralt. I promise to ascend to the fucking heights of oratory. Be soft as a mink, cautious as a novice strumpet. I'll get you that blade if I have to shave my beard off.
All right then. See that, Scalen? We were headed for a tragedy.
Now we're headed for a comedy.
Ah, youth these days, lacking hope and heart. You know what Zoltan and I saw at Brenna, lad? To us, there's no such thing as the impossible.
Any idea where I might find the Dun banner?
Try the Netherworld. The whole unit was cut down during the battle 3 years ago.
I meant the unit's standard, which symbolizes death.
Ah, that makes it a lot easier. We buried it with the remains of the Kedwenis.
Where?
Just outside Vergen. I'll mark it on your map as the road could get confusing. Strange things are afoot in those crypts, Witcher. Kedweni ghosts scaring off our folk. That would be normal since they were invaders. But one's some kind of amateur historian, asking all that venture there about the battle and the Dun banner.
I'll look into it. Thanks. Triss could be somewhere in this area.
The plague. I've not seen her 5 years, must be. Since that day they proclaimed you dead. Last saw her in Rivia, in any case.
From what I've been able to establish, the Kingslayer forced her to teleport the two of them to this area, and she's not on the other side of the fog.
What did this Kingslayer look like?
A huge, bald witcher. Wears a medallion with a snake on it.
Sorry, Geralt. Doesn't even ring the tiniest bell, any of that.
I might know something. This drunk in Vergen claims he saw a redhead fall from the sky somewhere among the ravines. And then he said the sorceress Philippa Eilhart came around looking for this woman.
Shriveled old minx.
She sent her servant and some peasants to the ravines after her. But they came back empty-handed. Now Philippa's servant maid's gone, leaving the sorceress angry as a wasp. She even turned one of the plebs into a pig. I spoke to one of those peasants. He claims the lass was no servant, but an Nilfgaardian agent. And she apparently found something in those ravines. Maybe it was Triss. And maybe it was that witcher. Madame Eilhart, or the old minx as Yarpen calls her, knows she's been duped and can't forgive herself for it.
Did the woman flee south, deeper into Edirn?
Fucking hell! She came out the main gate not more than an hour ago, headed straight for the fog. Thought she might be out to do some magic probing or whatnot.
She knew a bit of magic. She might have crossed.
I guess I need to visit Shillard when I get back. How's Yorvith? Any chance I might run into him?
Minimal. He follows Saskia around like a once-neglected pup. Eyes on her at all times.
At least the lass is well protected. What do you seek from Yorvith? Last I heard, you weren't exactly chummy.
You heard right. But when I last saw him in Flotsam, he had something I need to lift the curse.
Even if you see him, I doubt he'll give you anything out of the kindness of his heart. Perhaps Saskia can convince him?
Guess I don't have much of a choice. It's nice to talk to you all, but we've got things to do.
Ah, that's life. Open the gate! I've got to fetch me a certain sword.
Wait a minute. If by some miracle you obtain that cursed blade, I'd advise you not to parade it out the main gate past the squirrels.
Got another solution?
There's another passage. I'll mark it in the Witcher's map and show you myself. Sound all right to you?
It does. In the meantime, I'll look around for that flag.
Prime, I'd say.
Off we go then.
Witcher, finish your dealings, friend, before they turn into real problems.